What's up, y'all? This is Carla, aka Seela the Poet. It's another night where I'm up, kind of a night owl. So, this clip is going to be about my experience during quarantine. I'm going to start off with some scriptures. The first one is Ecclesiastes 7:2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to heart. Romans 14 verse 10. But why dost thou judge thy brother, or why dost thou set at naught my brother? For we shall all stand before the judgment seat of Christ. And lastly, Galatians 2 verse 20. I do not live anymore. It is Christ living in me. I still live in my body, but I live by faith in the Son of God. So, I am a Christian goth, and I decided to share those three scriptures because it's going to be the front line of what I'm going to talk about tonight. So, I was in my thoughts earlier, and I decided to write an excerpt in my journal, and I'm going to read that excerpt during this clip. And I'm just going to be very, very real about, a lot of my experiences. So here goes. The essence of being goth is sometimes the ability to connect with the darkness of life, the dark themes of life. There are moments I feel empty, sad, and sorrowful. Happiness is so fleeting. As much as I try to focus on the good in life, there's so much bad that I can't just ignore or minimize. Racism, violence, so much death. I hate the killing, the murders, police shootings of our young men, women, and children. And sometimes the young men that kill each other in the community. The failures of my life, the mistakes I've made, and how it's affected my life. I can't ignore the collateral damage. All the money, status, having a job, and all the things I used to put so much stock in don't have the same meaning anymore. Once the COVID pandemic hit, everything we once relied on was stripped away and laid bare. I realized the importance of the ability to breathe, just breathe. It reminded me how important our health is. With death and mortality and danger being so up close in everyone's face, so many being lost around us, it was a reminder that all the money we make, all the hours we work, all the material things we acquire, none of it can be taken with us when we leave this world. I started thinking about what my purpose was. Was I taking my life seriously? What am I living for? Why was I created? What was my reason? Everything society taught me that makes a life was basically ripped to shreds, and I realized the false self. And I was reminded of the things that truly matter most: time, family, faith, love, virtue, purpose, non-material things. I was reminded of longings not fulfilled, goals that I didn't reach. In the early days of quarantine, each day was filled with such anxiety, tension, and unsureness. Not sure if I was going to make it. But God somehow got me and my kids through this difficult, crazy time, and continues to keep me here day after day, irregardless of what I face. The different discussions and clashes I've had with people online just make me aware of others' mindsets, but also very untrusting of others. I've been called so many names, including curse words. I was called a leftist, a race baiter, because I talk about the subject of racism by a couple of white people. I was called and referred to as nigger by a Puerto Rican member of another group I was a part of. And then somebody had the nerve to add me to a secret white supremacist hate group on Facebook. Okay? And in this group, they depicted black people as monkeys and apes. They had memes with swastikas and were talking trash about Jewish people and posting Klan and Confederate flag pride cartoons. This lets me know all too well that racism is alive and well. Just people try to keep it underground. Many try to keep it in the closet, under wraps, but it always comes out in some way. Being told to go back to my country by a black supremacist from adults because I have Latina heritage. Being kicked out of a Christian singles group because I spoke about sexism in the black church and domestic violence. And me leaving a Christian anarchist group because of the constant aggression from white men feeling threatened because a woman of color was challenging their points of view. Being told I wear too much black by certain members of the congregation in my church, and being accused of being a Satanist and a witch because of the way I dress, just highlights the ignorance, indifference, and fear of what's different in other individuals' minds. It just shows me that society is so polarized and divided and judgmental that I have no desire to fit into the agenda, to conform to their standards of acceptance. Screw society and the masks of fakeness that people love to wear. There are moments that I feel like I don't fit or belong anywhere, but I'm realizing, why fit in when I was born to stand out? My quirks, my uniqueness, my reality, I accept it even if others don't. The black sheep of the abusive family I had to flee from. I am the black rose surrounded by thorns of protection that catches attention, good and bad. I am the one that some love to hate because I will speak the truth and I don't give a damn whether or not you like it or not. I am the outcast that many often misunderstand. That's why I wrap myself in solitude. I am a shadow dweller, surrounded by the darkness of this world, yet the light of Christ still shines, and his spirit lives in me. So, those were my thoughts. A lot of experiences, just a lot of clashes and debates with different people online, and sometimes, certain phone calls I've had with certain people, and we talk about things and just uncomfortable subjects come up, and sometimes you'll clash with people. But, one thing I need to say is that people need to stop judging books by their cover. People actually need to be judging people by the content of their character, like Martin Luther King said. I believe that was one of the wisest things that he ever said. People, they love to label, they love to put everybody into compartments, put everybody into boxes. And, I'm glad that I don't really fit into a lot of people's boxes. Yeah, that's basically the essence of being a Christian goth, It's hard to find a place to fit in, but at the same time, maybe you're just not meant to fit in. Maybe you're just meant to stand out and to be kind of like a badass rebel, But, yeah, these were just my thoughts and just kind of some of the things I've been thinking about during quarantine. Just trying to reconcile my personal experiences and with my faith. I'm a believer in Jesus. I love Jesus. I'm not ashamed to talk about my faith in God. My faith is the thing that gives me hope to just keep going in the midst of a world that's just you know, it's kind of crazy. You know, it's a crazy world we live in. It's just we're getting to a point where things are just, it may become like anarchy. It may really become like that. You know, all the violence, all the shootings, all the lawlessness. And you know, I just catch myself in my thoughts. But I wonder if anybody out there, you know, can relate to what I'm talking about. You know, I wonder. Anyway, thank y'all for listening. I hope that everybody is doing well, staying safe, staying prayerful, and staying wise, you know, and keeping the faith. All right? So I'll make another clip soon. Peace, y'all.